Hello again. Well, unless you've been totally disconnected from the news media for the last several months, and if you were, I'm a little bit jealous, you probably realize that there's a pretty expansive bill that has been passed with a lot of different pieces to it. Today I'm going to be talking about a couple of those pieces and how they might fit together for seniors. So let's take a look at those two pieces, how they might fit together, as well as one part of the bill that you may think is in there, but it really isn't. And that one I'll address first, taxes on Social Security. There was talk that that was going to be eliminated, but it was not. What was put in place and what should help some people with their tax return has to do with a $6,000 tax deduction for people over 65. So if your modified adjusted gross income is under $75,000 for a single filer and under $150,000 for a joint filer, you have a $6,000 tax deduction that could actually reduce the amount of taxable income that you'd have to report. Keep in mind that if you're married filing jointly, you each get that $6,000 deduction. If you make over those amounts, $75,000 for single and over $150,000 for a joint filer for your modified adjusted gross income, then that does start to phase out. So that's one piece of the bill that could benefit a lot of people. So what about people who invest in non-retirement accounts that have to pay capital gains when they make money, which that part is a good thing, but you still have to pay gains. Well, this particular deduction may actually bring people under a level where they'd have to pay capital gains, so it may put them at that zero rate for capital gains. So what are those rates for 2025? Well, let's take a look. So if you're a single filer and make under $48,350, your rate is zero. If you're married filing jointly and you can keep your adjusted gross income under $96,700, again, you pay zero tax in capital gains. So let's say for joint filers, you're making over $100,000 for your modified adjusted gross income for the year, but now you've applied the two $6,000 tax deductions. That would put you at the 0% tax bracket for capital gains. So how would you work this to your advantage? Well, if you normally would pay capital gains on something you sold, let's say you have an investment that's doing pretty well, probably won't do pretty well forever. Things do go up and down, and it would be nice to take some of that profit, maybe put it somewhere else, or maybe use it, spend it. But if you sold, you trigger a capital gain. Well, this year, once you've applied the standard deduction and the new $6,000 limit for each of you, if you're a married couple, that may allow you to go into a lower bracket for capital gains rates and may allow you to sell things that you normally wouldn't sell and not have to pay tax. Now, I'm not recommending that you do this. I'm recommending that you do some research, work with a financial advisor, work with your tax person, make sure it's a good strategy before you go ahead. But it is something to consider that deduction does go away after 2028. So this is a shorter term strategy to think of, but it's certainly worth doing a little work to figure out if it makes sense for you. Well, I hope this helps some of you, and I hope this encourages you to continue watching future videos. Thank you.